continue following breaking news from overnight. The United States firing missiles into Iran, destroying 3 nuclear sites. The move getting mixed reaction from lawmakers across the country. Here in Maryland, Congressman Andy Harris joining us live this morning with his thoughts on the move. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, let's get right to it. What are your thoughts on this move?
Well, this needed to be done. Someone needed to do it, and the United States really is one of the few nations that has the weapons to do it. These underground nuclear bunkers were, hidden in mountains. Iran had to be stopped from getting nuclear weapon capability, and this was the only way to do it.
Speaking of that nuclear capability, there's been a lot of dissent about whether or not this was imminent, whether they would have that capability in the next few weeks or if it would take the actual next few years. Some of your fellow lawmakers calling the move to strike unconstitutional for lack of congressional approval. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's simply not true. The president, as commander-in-chief, has a pretty broad ability to take action when things are urgent. The bottom line is that Israeli intelligence indicated, and I think that the UN International Atomic Energy Agency also agreed that Iran was enriching uranium beyond what you would need for civilian uses. The bottom line is no one but Iran knew how close they were to having a nuclear weapon. It could have been within weeks. Congress sometimes doesn't act that quickly. The bottom line is the president was completely justified. It's completely constitutional for the president to take action. Now, if he continues warlike action for months, then that's a different story. But again, the president's indicated this is, one time we had to destroy their nuclear capability. We're not looking for a prolonged war.
For folks worried that there could be overstep or overreach here, I know you mentioned that continued action over time could be seen as violating or as unconstitutional. But where is that line, I guess, for people who are wanting to know if it could be crossed?
Well, again, there's no need for continued action. These bombing strikes were effective. They neutralized Iran's nuclear capability. There's no need to send in troops. There's no need to send in more aircraft. Now it's going to be up to Israel. Obviously, they're taking the brunt of this war with Iran, but they have pretty effectively neutralized the Iranian air defenses. They control the skies over Iran, and they're defending themselves capably. So the bottom line is I don't see any reason for the U.S. to take any further action. They have helped the world in this. The bottom line, many of the actors in the Middle East are happy that Iran, a rogue government, doesn't have nuclear capability now.
Many people say the U.S. should have just stayed out of it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, look, during protests in Iran, they chant death to America, and they were close to having enough uranium for 6 nuclear weapons. I think 2 of them probably had America's name on them. The bottom line is they could be delivered as a dirty bomb. They could have devastated American cities. The world is a much safer, better place without Iran having nuclear capability.
And prior to this action, Iran promised that if there was any action taken by the U.S., that it would also be met with force. So it sounds like you believe this is over, but on their side, it sounds like they were going to strike back. What are your thoughts on that?
They really don't have the capability to do an effective strike back at the United States. The bottom line, again, they have basically no air force right now. Israel has neutralized their air defense. They do have some long-range missiles. We have defensive capability. I don't think they want to get into a missile war with the United States because they will lose that war. And again, there is no need for us to send troops on the ground there.
And then as far as your colleagues there in Congress, is there anything on the schedule following this for today?
No, we're going to go back into session tomorrow. The bottom line is there will be discussions. But again, without the president taking any further action, and I don't think he will, I think this is over for now. We breathe a sigh of relief, again, that Iran does not have nuclear capability. And we go on with the other business that we have in Washington.
Congressman Andy Harris, thank you so much for joining us this morning.